The awakening of Earth's ultimate warship. For years, Earth had been overlooked. The galaxy knew Earth's history only through stories, myths told by old explorers, and the rare reports from distant scouts. To the rest of the galaxy, Earth was a small, insignificant planet, buried under the weight of time. The Galactic Empire had laughed at the thought of Earth being a threat. The humans there were too weak, too divided to make any real impact on the grand scale of the galaxy. But no one knew what lay beneath Earth's surface. No one knew what had been hidden for centuries. In an underground base, deep within Earth's crust, something stirred. Ancient machinery, forgotten and buried, hummed to life. The Earth trembled slightly, as if the planet itself was awakening from a long sleep. High-tech systems, dormant for years, flickered on, casting eerie blue lights in the dark rooms. The base had been silent for years, but now its walls buzzed with the sound of power returning. Lieutenant Mara, one of the few who had access to the top-secret project, stood at the control panel. Her hands shook slightly as she read the data. This was it. The ship had been reactivated. "It's working," she whispered to herself. The control systems were online, the engines humming softly in the background. She felt a chill run down her spine. She had always known about the project, but seeing it come to life was different. The ship wasn't just a weapon. It was Earth's ultimate warship. A ship unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. The warship, a massive and sleek design, was unlike any other vessel the galaxy had ever known. It was more than just a weapon. It was a piece of Earth's hidden history. Built in secret over centuries, its purpose was to defend Earth from any threat. And now it was finally awake. Mara watched as the holographic image of the warship appeared on the control screen. The ship was enormous, with dark metallic plating and glowing blue thrusters that seemed to pulse with energy. The ship was equipped with technology that bent the very laws of space. It was built to teleport, to appear anywhere in the galaxy, at a moment's notice, to outmaneuver any enemy with speed and precision. Its power was immeasurable, but Mara knew there was something more. She activated the next system. A deep, resonating hum filled the room as the ship's main reactor came online. The energy source, long kept a secret, was now fully powered. It wasn't just any reactor. It was a quantum energy core, capable of harnessing the power of stars and turning it into a limitless weapon. It was unstoppable, high above the surface of Earth. The first signs of the warship's power became visible. The dark shape of the ship began to rise from its underground dock, its engines firing up and casting bright blue light into the sky. The ship moved with precision, effortlessly lifting off the ground. Its size made it appear as if it were a mountain rising into the air. Mara stood frozen as she watched the ship take its first steps into the sky. Her breath caught in her throat. She wasn't just looking at a ship. She was looking at the beginning of something that could change the fate of the galaxy. As the ship rose, it sent a massive energy pulse into space. It wasn't a weapon, not yet, but the pulse was enough to send a signal, one that would travel far and wide across the galaxy, to the Empire's sensors and every ship in range. The message was clear. "We are awake." It seemed to say. The signal reached the Empire's defense systems within hours. Admiral Vaughn, one of the most powerful leaders in the Galactic Empire, stared at the readout. He had heard rumors about Earth, about this mythical warship, but he had never believed it. Earth was nothing. It was a relic of a forgotten age, a planet too weak to even matter. But now the signal was real. The pulse from Earth's underground base had reached their systems. It wasn't a normal signal. It was unlike anything they had encountered. "This can't be," Vaughn muttered under his breath. "Impossible." Across the galaxy, smaller outposts and stations detected the strange energy surge. They had no idea what it meant, but they knew one thing: something on Earth had changed. They began to send messages to the Empire, urging them to investigate further. Some speculated that Earth had finally developed a weapon of mass destruction, but no one could explain how back in the Empire's capital, Vaughn made the decision to investigate. His fleet, the most powerful in the galaxy, was sent toward Earth to confirm what had happened. His fleet had never been questioned. They had crushed rebellions and wiped out entire worlds. They were prepared for anything, but Earth's warship was unlike anything they had prepared for. Mara stood on the observation deck of the warship as it moved through space, heading out of Earth's orbit. The ship was unstoppable, and now it was ready to show the galaxy what it was capable of. As the warship accelerated into deep space, she realized that this was only the beginning. The galaxy would soon learn the truth. Earth was no longer the forgotten planet. It had returned, and it was ready to reshape the galaxy. The warship unveiled. The silence of space was shattered as Earth's ultimate warship drifted farther from its home planet. Its vast form stretched across the stars like an unholy beast. With each passing moment, the ship's presence sent ripples through the fabric of space itself. The hum of its engines wasn't the familiar roar of a typical warship, was a low, resonating vibration that seemed to pulse through the very cosmos. The ship wasn't just moving through space, it was bending it. Mara stood on the observation deck, watching as Earth's greatest secret finally took flight. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. No one knew what this warship was capable of. Earth hadn't just built a ship, they had built a new way of thinking. A new form of power that would challenge everything the galaxy knew about warfare. Back at the Empire's capital, Admiral Vaughn studied the data that had arrived. The pulse from Earth's warship had triggered an emergency response, yet no one could make sense of the readings. His fleet was preparing for what they thought would be a simple operation: travel to Earth, investigate the source of the signal, and eliminate whatever had dared to disturb the Empire's peace. But there was something strange about the warship's movements. The usual military protocols didn't apply. It wasn't just a ship, it was a new frontier. The message came through at that moment. Earth's ultimate warship is here, and it's beyond imagination. Vaughn stared at the screen. It wasn't just an alarm, it was a challenge. Earth wasn't just trying to show their strength. They were claiming the stars. As Earth's warship moved into the deeper regions of space, it became clear that the Empire's ships would have no way to track it. The warship didn't just vanish. From radar it shifted. One moment it was on the edge of the solar system, and the next it was across the galaxy. The warship's ability to manipulate space-time itself was becoming evident. It could appear anywhere. It could reappear in the blink of an eye. Liren, still working in the communications division, watched the reports come in. The Empire had never encountered anything like this. Every attempt to predict the warship's location failed. No one understood how it moved, but they all knew one thing: it wasn't leaving. Earth had finally built something the Empire could not control. Asterisk on Earth's warship. Commander Elara paced in front of her crew. She had worked for years to bring this vision to life. She wasn't just a leader, she was the embodiment of Earth's rise from the ashes. Everyone across the galaxy thinks Earth is weak, that we've forgotten how to fight, she said, her voice steady but filled with purpose. But we've learned something they don't know. We've learned how to control the very fabric of space. Her crew watched in silence, absorbing the magnitude of her words. We don't need to destroy everything. We just need to remind them who we are. She gestured to the view screen, where the distant stars glimmered. We're not here to conquer. We're here to lead. And the galaxy will understand that soon enough. The ship's massive engines fired up once more, sending a rippling shockwave through the vacuum of space. They were heading to the heart of the galaxy. Earth had just begun its march to reshape the future. Back at the Empire's war room, the mood had shifted from disbelief to fear. The fleet had been mobilized, but now it was clear that Earth's warship wasn't just a weapon, it was a new type of force. Admiral General Rin began, "We've received reports from several outlying colonies. Earth's warship isn't just moving, it's shifting. One moment, it's near us. The next, it's on the other side of the galaxy, and we can't track it." Vaughn leaned forward. "This can't be happening. We've never dealt with anything like this. We don't even understand how it works, sir. It's manipulating space itself. Every attempt to hit it with our weapons fails. It's like it's invisible, even when it's right in front of us," Rin continued, his voice thick with frustration. The warship reached the first planet in its path, a small colony that had long been under the Empire's rule. The people here had no idea what was coming. They had heard whispers of Earth's return, but they never expected anything like this. Earth's warship appeared suddenly, hovering above the colony. The ground shook as its presence filled the sky, casting a shadow that stretched for miles. But there was no attack. No weapons were fired. Instead, Earth's warship did something the galaxy had never seen before. It paused, hovering silently above the surface. The people of the colony watched in stunned silence, unsure of what to do. Was this a warning, a threat, or something else entirely? Commander Ilara's voice came through the planet's communication systems. "We are not here to destroy. We are here to lead. Join us, or step aside." The message was simple, but it was enough to send the planet into turmoil. The Empire had controlled this world for centuries, but now Earth was offering a choice: coexist or be left behind. As the warship moved on, the Empire scrambled to respond. The shift in power was happening faster than they could comprehend. The old way of ruling with fear, with overwhelming force, was no longer enough. Earth's warship had shown them something. Control wasn't about strength. It was about mastery. On Earth's warship, Ilara looked out at the stars. They were just beginning to understand what Earth had become. The warship wasn't just a weapon, it was a symbol, and it was going to change the galaxy. The universe is about to see what Earth can do, Ilara whispered to herself, and nothing will ever be the same. Asterisk, the Empire strikes back. The Empire was never meant to be defeated. For centuries, the Imperial fleet had reigned supreme over the galaxy. Planets bowed to its might. Alien races feared its power. The Empire was built on strength, and its rulers believed nothing could challenge them, until now. The warship from Earth had done something unimaginable. It appeared from nowhere, manipulated the very fabric of space, and wiped out the Empire's most powerful fleet without even firing a shot. For the first time in history, the Empire was left powerless against an enemy it couldn't understand. Back at the Empire's war room, the mood was different. The confident faces of the Empire's leadership had turned to expressions of desperation. Admiral Vaughn paced the room, his mind racing. The galaxy was slipping through his fingers. "What do we know about Earth's warship?" Vaughn demanded, his voice tight with frustration. General Rin stepped forward, his face pale. We've lost contact with several of our patrols. Earth's ship is moving faster than our sensors can track. We tried sending drones to gather information, but every attempt failed. The moment our forces come close, Earth's warship, it's impossible to predict its movements. Vaughn clenched his fists. I need answers, not excuses. If Earth has this kind of power, they could bring the Empire to its knees. He turned to the gathered council members, his voice cold. Prepare the fleet. We will crush Earth's warship, no matter the cost. We will not let this thing change the galaxy. Earth's warship continued its peaceful march through the galaxy, never attacking, never showing aggression. But it was clear Earth wasn't just threatening the Empire with force. It was changing the game, on the surface of an uninhabited planet. Commander Alara stood before her crew, a holographic map of the galaxy glowing in front of her. The Empire was scrambling to catch up. But Alara knew it wasn't about defeating them. It was about showing them that the galaxy didn't have to be ruled by fear. It's time to show the Empire what we've learned, Alara said, her voice calm but filled with purpose. We don't need to fight them. We don't need to destroy them. We need to change the way the galaxy thinks, and we start by showing them our true power. The message was clear. Earth wasn't just a power to be feared. It was a force of change. As Earth's warship traveled, more and more planets reached out. The Empire's grip was loosening. Colonies, once controlled by the Empire, began to send messengers to Earth, offering their allegiance. The galaxy was finally beginning to see what Earth had to offer. Unity, but the Empire refused to accept defeat. The fleet gathered. Vaughn's eyes were cold as he surveyed. The massive warships lined up in front of him. This was their final chance. Earth had embarrassed them. Now it was time for the Empire to strike back. With overwhelming force, we will not show weakness, Vaughn said, his voice low and commanding. We will attack Earth's warship, and we will crush it. No more waiting. The Empire's forces moved toward Earth's location, their weapons charged and ready. This was going to be different. They were prepared. Earth's warship wouldn't escape this time. It had to be destroyed before it could gather more support. As the Empire's ships approached, something unexpected happened. Earth's warship appeared in front of them. Not in the distance, but directly within the Empire's formation. The Empire had been too slow to anticipate its movements. Before they could react, Earth's ship teleported again, appearing behind their entire fleet, cutting off any chance of escape. It was too late. Earth's warship didn't fire a single weapon. Instead, it sent out a pulsar shockwave that traveled through space, disabling the Empire's weapons and engines in a single sweep. No explosions, no fire, just complete disruption. The Empire's fleet fell into chaos. Ships spun out of control. Weapons systems failed. Communications were cut off. The Empire's great fleets, built for war and conquest, were now sitting targets. Inside Earth's warship, Alara watched calmly as the Empire's ships faltered. She knew what the galaxy was thinking. The Empire was collapsing, and Earth was the reason we're not here to destroy them. Alara whispered, we're here to show them that the galaxy can be better. We are the future. Back at the Empire's command center, Vaughn's rage was evident. He had seen his fleet falter before, but this was different. Earth wasn't just fighting. They were redefining the rules of engagement. Their ability to control space itself had rendered the Empire's greatest weapon useless. I don't care how long it takes, Vaughn growled. I will destroy that warship. I will make Earth pay for this. The galaxy watched in silence as the Empire's fleet disbanded in the face of Earth's warship. The sheer power that Earth had unleashed was undeniable. The Empire had tried to strike back with all its might, but it had failed. Earth wasn't just a challenger, it was the future. As Earth's warship moved on, the message became clearer than ever. Earth was not here to fight for survival, it was here to lead. The Empire had shown the galaxy one way, now Earth would show them another. Earth's new alliance. The galaxy was shifting. The Empire, once untouchable, now faced an undeniable truth. Earth's warship had not just outmatched them, it had redefined the balance of power. For centuries, the galaxy had been divided by war, greed, and the relentless rule of the Empire. But now, Earth was offering something new. A new way forward. A way of unity, peace, and shared strength. On Earth's flagship, Commander Elara stood before her crew, staring at the holographic map of the galaxy. Her mind was focused. The galaxy had watched Earth rise from the ashes, and now it was time to show them what they were capable of. "We have fought long and hard to reach this moment," she said, her voice steady. "But we must remember, this is not about defeating the Empire. This is about showing the galaxy that unity is stronger than conflict. We don't need to conquer, we need to lead." Her words resonated with her crew. They had seen the destruction Earth's warship had caused, but they also knew Earth had done it with purpose, not rage. This was the beginning of something far greater than war. Across the galaxy, the message from Earth had spread like wildfire. It wasn't just about their victory over the Empire, it was about the vision they offered. Earth wasn't simply a new power, it was a new hope. The smaller colonies, those once oppressed by the Empire, now saw an opportunity. They saw Earth not as a conqueror, but as a beacon of change. The chance to break free from the Empire's stranglehold was too great to ignore. Earth had shown them that peace, cooperation, and rebuilding were possible. On the mining world of Gorth 7, a once loyal Empire planet, the people had heard Earth's call. They had witnessed the destruction of the Empire's fleets and knew that their old masters could no longer protect them. But what was Earth offering them? War, conquest? The truth was far different. At the heart of Gorth 7, the council met to discuss their future. The leader of the council, Jara, looked out at the group. "We've lived under the Empire's rule for too long. We've seen what Earth has done. But what do we do now?" One of the younger council members, Davon, spoke up. "We have a choice. Now, Earth doesn't want to fight us. They want to unite us. This is our chance to be free, to be part of something bigger." Jara's eyes narrowed, considering the weight of his words. For the first time, the thought of breaking free from the Empire didn't seem so impossible. The idea of unity, of cooperation, was something the galaxy had never seen. Elsewhere in the galaxy, other systems were making the same choice. Planets like Taunine, once oppressed under the Empire's boot, began sending emissaries to Earth. They too were ready to abandon the old ways. The seeds of a new alliance were being sown, and Earth was the cornerstone. The message from Earth was always the same. We offer peace, we offer change. Join us or step aside. Back aboard Earth's warship, Elara's team began sending messages. 2 key systems, inviting them to join Earth's growing alliance. It wasn't a forceful takeover. It wasn't a battle. Earth was offering something the galaxy had long forgotten, a future of peace. "We will rebuild this galaxy together. Ilara said, looking out at the stars. We don't need to rule over them. We just need to show them that we can all stand as equals. Her crew nodded, understanding the weight of her words. Earth had shown strength, yes, but now they were showing something far more important: compassion, leadership, and the power of unity. But not everyone was ready to accept Earth's vision. The remnants of the Empire, those who still held power, refused to bend. They couldn't. For them, Earth's rise was a direct threat to their way of life. They had built their empire on dominance, on subjugation. We won't give up that easily. One of the last surviving Imperial generals, Drex, said as he addressed his fleet. His face was weathered, filled with bitterness. Earth wants to tear down the old order. We can't let them. The generals and their forces had scattered across the galaxy, preparing for the final stand. They had no hope of defeating Earth's fleet in combat, but they could try to rally their remaining allies to resist Earth's rise. But Earth's influence was spreading too quickly. As more planets joined the alliance, the remnants of the Empire found themselves isolated. One by one, their forces crumbled. They had been so focused on fighting Earth, they hadn't realized the power of unity, something Earth had learned to master. The Empire's message of control, fear, and division was fading as Earth's message of peace, cooperation, and rebuilding began to take root. Commander Ilara stood at the helm of Earth's warship as it moved toward the next system, ready to bring more worlds into the fold. She knew the battle wasn't over. There were still factions out there that refused to accept Earth's rise. But with each new planet that joined, the dream of a united galaxy became closer to reality. We will rebuild, Ilara said softly, staring out at the stars. Not by force, but by choice. Her words were echoed across the galaxy. As Earth's growing alliance spread like wildfire, the Empire had fallen. But the true battle was just beginning. The battle for the future. The new galaxy. The galaxy was no longer a place of conflict. The old wars were over. The old ways were fading into the past. And in their place, a new future was taking shape. A future led by Earth. For the first time in history, a united galaxy was beginning to take form. Once powerful factions that had thrived under the Empire's rule now stood at Earth's side. The call for peace, for cooperation, had found its place in the hearts of those who had once been enemies. It wasn't about domination anymore. It was about rebuilding. Commander Ilara stood on the bridge of the warship, staring at the holographic map of the galaxy. Earth's fleet, no longer a symbol of military might, but a symbol of leadership, now guided the galaxy toward a new era. The destruction, the fear, and the oppression of the past were fading. The planets that once fought against one another were now coming together, building something stronger than any army. A galactic alliance. We did it. Ilara whispered, her voice filled with quiet pride. She had once believed Earth's greatest power was its technology, its warships. But now she saw that their true power lay in unity. Her crew stood in silence, acknowledging the truth of her words. Earth had not just won a war. It had changed the entire fabric of the galaxy. But the galaxy was not without its scars. There were those who still resisted. There were still leaders who couldn't let go of the old ways, who fought against the idea of peace, who believed they should rule, not join. General Drex, the last of the Imperial loyalists, had retreated to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, gathering what remained of the Empire's scattered forces. He knew he couldn't defeat Earth in battle, not now. But there was still power to be had. There were still planets, still colonies that hadn't yet joined Earth's alliance. "We'll rebuild what they've torn down," Drex muttered, staring at a map of the galaxy. "The galaxy still fears us, and they will fear us again." His forces weren't large. They weren't enough to challenge Earth's fleet. But his words still carried weight in the darker corners of space. For now, the old guard was quiet, but they would not go easily. Meanwhile, the alliance continued to grow. Smaller systems that had long been oppressed under the Empire's rule now found their voices. Planets like Taunine, Gorth 7, and even the once distant world of Necron 9 now pledged their loyalty to Earth. The galaxy, it seemed, was finally ready to unite under one banner. The first meeting of the Galactic Council was held on Earth's homeworld. Leaders from across the galaxy, from all walks of life, gathered to decide the fate of their shared future. The once council chambers were now filled with a sense of hope. Alara stood at the head of the table, her presence commanding respect. "We are not here to dictate. We are here to work together. No more wars, no more divisions. Earth will lead, but we lead together." Her words rang true. The galaxy, once divided by race, by systems, and by the old Empire, was now working toward a common goal. Earth's ultimate warship, which had once been a symbol of Earth's power, was now a symbol of hope, a promise that no one would be left behind. On the planet of Gorth 7, a large ceremony was taking place. The people, once oppressed under the Empire, now stood proud, their flags flying beside Earth's. It was a moment of victory. But not just for Earth, was a victory for all who had chosen to stand with them. The leader of Gorth 7, Jara, stood before the crowd, speaking of the future. "Today marks a new beginning. We no longer live in fear. We are not subjects. We are citizens of a united galaxy." The crowd erupted into applause, but it wasn't just Gorth 7 that cheered. Across the galaxy, planets joined in, celebrating the end of an old era and the dawn of a new one. Earth's ultimate warship, now in orbit above the planet, stood silent. No longer a weapon of destruction, it had become a symbol of what the galaxy could accomplish when they came together. The warship's presence was no longer a sign of conquest, it was a sign of change. Back on Earth's flagship, Alara looked out at the stars, a sense of peace settling over her. The battle for the galaxy had been won, not with weapons, but with trust, leadership, and the unwavering belief that a better future was possible. The warship, once the tool of their strength, was now a symbol of their commitment to peace. Its engines, no longer needing to fire destructive blasts, simply hummed softly as it floated in the peaceful silence of space. The galaxy was healing, and Earth was at the heart of it. And so Earth had done what no one thought possible. It had redefined what it meant to lead. It had shown the galaxy that true power didn't come from domination or fear, it came from unity. Together, the galaxy was stronger than it had ever been. Ilara's voice echoed across the communications. "Channel a simple message broadcast to every corner of the galaxy. We are Earth, we are united.